Okay, welcome back. This is episode 26 of Misfortune, and we left off on the slope leading up to the Temple Legion's main entrance. So, as you guys know, episode 25 was a little, in my opinion, a little shaky. I made some corrections that at the end they probably didn't really need to do, but I'm going to roll with it. I just have to accept my defeat and move on. As much as I loved episode 24, 25 and a half was just not so good. That's because episode 24 was so great, and I tried to, replicate it. And yeah. Anyways, going back to basics as usual. We'll be using, we've been using the Swords and Sorcery one-page Lasers and Feelings hack for the rules of this campaign since a handful of episodes now. I will be uh, most likely not using the Mythic this time. So I'm going to shelf that just for this episode or two. I'll be using my traditional percentage system, which is just I say if there's a 60% chance of something of a positive yes outcome, then I have to roll within that. And then if it's really close to that number, then it's highly effective. And that works both ways as far as like known yes. As far as oracles go, we will be using Juice Oracle version 9.1. So it's right here. And then if it's needed, most likely won't have a chance, but this is the quest generator from the Juice Oracle. So I will keep these close by if they need to roll to it. And then, of course, we have our character, uh, Breglor, who is right here. Let's see. Breglor is right there. That's our character sheet. We currently have So we have the gold-plated map, which I have not touched on in a while since we picked it up. We have the short sword we got from the camp. We have a rope. We still have the rope. We have a torch, two rations, and a key that the Watcher gave to us. So it looks like this might be an opportunity to explore the Temple of Legion. We've been trying to get here for 25 plus episodes. We might as well make the best of it and get in there and explore. But we have an obstacle at the moment. We have Dervish and Belinda are portaled through the door, so they found a way in. They obviously they Belinda knows the place in and out, but they got in there somehow. I was chatting with Watcher. I followed the two Kingsmen, and they're having a face off. They're having a standoff with Dervish and Belinda, who portaled through the door. So Kingsmen were initially going to go up to that door, and I was going to try to catch them before they got too close, and then give them the key. But obviously now things have changed. So let's roll a D100 and figure out how this scene will play out. I'm rolling to basically set the mood, set the scene, and we will use the juice. We're gonna roll for, let's see, there's definitely a few options to choose from. There's Event, which is a basic miracle performance plague. Let's roll for Event. I'm really curious if we can just throw a screwball and see what happens. So D100, here we go. 79 for Event. We'll see if this works out. Reconstruction. Okay, that does make sense actually. So reconstruction. All right. So reconstruction. I'm going to be I'm going to try to be sure to keep where I'm typing in the middle of the screen so you guys can see it. And then that's what I rolled. So the questions I left for myself was, what are Dervish and Belinda going to do against the Kingsmen? Is the Watcher still watching? I just realized how redundant that is now after I typed it. What will I do? That's always the question for each episode. Okay, reconstruction. I believe reconstruction relates to Belinda and Dervish. They are looking to rebuild what they started Now, I don't necessarily think it's the Misfits per se. I believe it's the statue, but the heart's been destroyed. So that's the real conundrum: is how are they going to rebuild? So I believe that I'm too far away to really tell what's being spoken about. But reconstruction means I think that Belinda and Dervish are talking to the Kingsmen, trying to give their spiel about what their purpose is in life and what they're going to try to do. So that's basically is what's going on up there, a little further up the hill. The two Kingsmen. So now, as they're talking about this reconstruction, I am going to do the following. I'm going to continue walking up alongside the Kingsmen. So while they're talking. Now that I'm closer, a couple of things here. We'll pull the Oracle out. How does the Kingsmen, because I think we're on common ground now. They didn't really specify if I was like a wanted criminal or anything. I know I did retcon quite a bit, like a huge paragraph. Do I regret it? Perhaps, but I'm done, dwelling in the past. We have to just keep moving on. But what I'm looking at back, ironically, in the past for is how they reacted to me. So, okay, so I had the intent of helping them. While they're chatting, let's see how they react to hearing me approach them from the side, perhaps. And again, we're on the hill. We're on this kind of swirly trail, and it leads up to this large, giant door. Perhaps I'm thinking it's like just a classic like big stone door, like 20 feet tall, and just opens like this, and two giant stone doors, stone a stone door. So let's see how they react to me. I'm gonna say they are going to be, let's see. Let's roll for description. 32. Their reaction will be, well, I guess I could use other. I rolled expansive, but there are other um choices here, I believe. We can do interrupt or plot point, or we can do, yeah, I think expansive is probably a good roll. So 32 is expansive. How can expansive? How can I? I think they're talking about their. Oh, okay. Here's one thing. Expanding the Kingsman. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna try to bold in things that I roll, just so it reminds us what I got from the table. Let's see. Kingsman noticed me. They are now. Are they happy to see me? Perhaps. Let's say 50-50 on this one. One's kind of on his wrong. It kind of rolled on two possible numbers, so we'll re-roll. There we go. 20. Okay, just a solid 20. They are okay. They are not maybe not happy per se, but I think they're just surprised. Let's say they're surprised. Thought I let I thought I skipped out. Um, Now let's see how Dervish and Belinda react to seeing me. I'm gonna say it's not going to be positive, but 27 on the description. We'll do either action description. Defend for action because description is emotional, but that doesn't make too much sense to me. Focus is dispute. Defend the dispute. Okay, here's okay. Defend the dispute. I'll use those two. Defend dispute. So Dervish, they kind of have to speak up because they're a little further. They're a little at the entrance and a little further up. They're probably like 20, 30 yards up, a little up the hill. Dervish shouts at me. He's saying, uh, Have you come here to destroy what we're trying to achieve? I think they're really like they're just no, they don't actually. I don't think they are themselves now. Because defend the dispute. That's I'm wondering if they're possessed. Let's say there's a 75% chance they're possessed by a certain spirit that we talked to a long time ago. Oh, that was a great spin. 39. Yep. They are okay, so Dervish's eyes. Okay, Dervish and Belinda's eyes glow white. Do we recognize this? Like, I'm gonna say we do, because I'm pretty sure our eyes were white or glowing when we were possessed by that talking skull. So let's say I'm going to try to. I do recognize it. We do simply recognize this. Okay, their is very echoey and demonic. They speak to us, to me, us actually, because they're talking to us in the Kingsman about defending the temple, rebuilding their god, all that kind of stuff. So because the dragon basically uh, crash landed, just this kamikaze style attack onto the church, and so the church has been obliterated. It's and the white fire does explain the. So I think the white flame, the white energy, is kind of related to the just this whole theme of the temple. So I tell the Kingsmen they are clearly not themselves at the moment. So they probably just I think because they gave up, they felt so empty that they were probably called back to the temple, possessed by whatever spirit this is, to uh, come back to the temple. And then now, because we're on their front door, the spirit commanded them to. What I'm surprised is that I'm trying to think if there's more to them, like there's more followers or cultists behind that door. So I believe it's most likely that there is. But for now, they are our greeting party. They are the at the front door. So um, how do the I say that they're cleaning out themselves. How do the two Kingsmen react to what do they do to these two possessed individuals that they are familiar with? Um, let's see. I'm gonna roll action. So 66 is going to be magnify. Magnify. Well, magnify means like to zoom in. Now it's an action though, so we have to think of it as a verb. Magnify is to get closer. Okay, you know what? I think they're just tired of all the bullshit. They pull their weapons out and they basically walk up to them. Maybe they don't see them as a threat. They say, "Okay, enough of the magic. We're bringing you in." So they're basically ready to arrest them. So the Kingsmen prepare to arrest them now, with them walking up the hill right up to Dervish and Melinda. How do they react? Let's roll for action. This would be really interesting because there's way too many options for this. 97. Uncover. Uncover. Do they? It's a verb. So, like, do they disappear? Or do they uncover? Do they go back? If it was cover, I would think they would pull some kind of camo or like they would go back into the stone door. But I think uncover is that's a tough one. Uncover. Let me see if I'm going to uncover. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take these out here and just bold Let's 97 is also, you know what? Focus a warning. I like that one better. It's on the same number, so I don't have to re-roll. Warning. Oh, the Kingsmen uncover a warning given by Dervish. Okay, so as they walk up, Dervish, uh, they give a warning not to pass, not to enter. So let's say the spirits are still, the Dervish and Belinda are still standing there, like their eyes are glowing, or they have no retinas. They're just empty socket, like empty white sockets, and they are like kind of a little transparent, not entirely see-through, but like they're there. Just they have a kind of an aura around them. So they're probably just spiritual manifestations of them, or they're just a projection. Um, so I'm thinking that they are a uh, they're not there physically. So while I said the Kingsmen are going to try to grab them, can they grab them? Let's see. Do they grab them? 50. I'm going to say 90% chance they grab them. Yep. Oh, yeah, 60. They do. Okay, so Kingsmen attempt to grab them, but I let's see what happens. I think I'm gonna roll for. Let's see what would be a good. Let's try a action. Let's do action, and I'll go across the line to see if there's anything better. 45. Forgive. Fresh. Hide. I like hide. Focus has been a good one today. I like hide. So while they try to grab them, they do what I mentioned earlier. They go back into the door and the portal vanishes. Okay, so Dervish and Belinda vanish back into the door, into the portal. Portal, the portal closes. So now it's just a solid door. So uh, the kids are like, "Oh shit!" So now it's just a solid door. Uh, I run up. I run up to them, and they're probably trying to figure out how to open the door. Let's see what they're doing. Let's roll for action. See what they're trying to do. 77. Praise. Odd. So at praise, odd remains odd. I think they're a little. They're kind of like that was odd. Just even though they live in a world of magic, praise is like oh that was interesting. Maybe they're like I don't know. I like the odd one. So odd. Okay. And they're trying to. I'm guessing are they like looking around? They're trying to figure out how to open the door. There's like a a lever or something. So let's do 50. They're trying to open the door. Like they're patting it. 75% chance. Yep, 64. So they're trying to look around the door, trying to find a lever or something to open the door. I pull the key out. Now I don't know if this key is actually for this specific door, but it's something that the merchants dropped or that we got from the merchants. I turn back to see if the Watcher is still like down the hill because it's a pretty big mountain. Uh, I look to see if Watcher is watching. I like that. Watcher is watching. Is he still there? I'm gonna say 50-50 on this one. 50%. So is he still there? 26. He is, and I believe because it's halfway. He's actually on his way up. So the Watcher is still there. Let's roll to see what he's doing. Besides me just saying what he's doing. Action. Uh, 90. Wow, 99. Uh, violate. Useful. Wound. Oh, he's being useful. Interesting. It's also a wizard too as person. Wound. So violate. Useful. You know what? He's violating his own oath not to interject, not to get in the way or like to assist, not to take part in these kind of shenanigans. But I think he's going to more so be useful. So he's actually right behind us. He's walking up to us. I think he's going to like do this to me, like he signals me to basically use the key. Signals, looks at the key as I'm holding it. So, uh, do the Kingsmen see that I'm holding a key? I'm going to say they're busy, probably 40% chance. They're busy looking at the door. 37. So they are, yeah, yeah. One of the Kingsmen. So one Kingsman sees the key and grabs down my hand. I'm just thinking like he just takes it. Um, he's like, oh, key. So he takes the key out of my hand. And I say, hey, like, what the hell? Um, because I'm looking at the watch like this. I'm holding it, and the watch is looking at the key, and then all of a sudden the Kingsman takes the key. So what does he take? What does he do with the key? Let's see. Let's just roll, and I'll just choose what I feel is best. 95. He swears. Look at this. They have to. So yeah, the one that comes up. Look at this. This guy has a fucking key for this door. And he's gonna put. He's gonna try to like. So I swears. Pardon my French. Um, the Kingsman tries. Now, are they? How are they gonna? What are they gonna do with the key? Are they gonna try to? Is there a keyhole like on the side or on the stone door? I doubt it, but 50-50. Is there a keyhole? 52. There's not, there's no keyhole on the door. So there's no like physical spot to put the key through like a traditional door. The key is an old relic. It's rusty and it's a long. It looks like a prison key. So um, the Kingsman can't find a keyhole. The Watcher. I think the Watcher says something at this point. Does the Watcher say anything? Because he's supposed to be useful. I'm gonna say 60% chance. 7. Oh yeah, he does, and he spews some very important details. The Watcher explains that this key is not for the door. Remember, if we recall correctly, it's actually for a specific cell, a prison cell that's possibly within the Temple of Legion. So it's not for this door. So I asked the Watcher. So what? How do we open it? Okay. Let's see how the Kingsmen react to this inquiry. 61 is going to be intertwine, intense, nature. Uh, all these are pretty good. Intertwine. Okay, so one of the Kingsmen, just from his general experience, he's going to say, the other one the other Kingsman who didn't take the key out of her hand, he's looking at it like, yeah, that key does kind of look like a prison key of sorts. So he's only basically just from general experience of, locking people up. So the other Kingsman agrees that the the key looks to be a prison cell key. So now it's up to the Watchman's going to details. I think, is he going to share the detail that this key is for something within the temple dungeon? I'd say 75%. Yeah, he's a pretty talkative person. 38. Yeah, he is. Okay, so the Watcher mentions that the key is for something specific inside those doors. So he's being a little vague, but he is mentioning that it is something indeed within those walls. So I asked how do we open it. Something the Watcher's going to do something that opens this door. Like he's been here before, it's evident. So let's roll to see what he does. A lot of 60s today. 68. Mourn, lively, and opposition. Opposition. He doesn't want to go inside. And I think I know why. He doesn't want to go inside because he's done too much already. So he says this: it must not be me who enters who enters these doors. My presence. Okay, I think that's all he says. It must not be me who enters these doors. Then I'm thinking he looks to me. So let me fix the camera. 1 second, guys. That's better. Okay. He looks to me. I'm the chosen one. I'm the main character here. So, okay. He looks to me. So he looks at me. I ask, why me? Then he will say, because I have a connection to the spirit. So he says, you have you had a connection to the spirit. Only those who spoke to the voice may enter the temple. And then the kingsman will say, replies, what about us then? What about us then? So I'm thinking the kingsmen are worried that if they enter there, they're going to catch fire or something. So I've been exposed to the spirit that most likely is the god, the stone dragon. And if the stone dragon is not truly defeated, hasn't truly been extinguished, then the spirit is still in there somewhere. And what we dealt with on the exterior was just an opposing force, like a trap, basically. A super freaking powerful trap that got triggered because of the heart. See, the other plot hole that we have in this campaign is the heart, the box. And the whole purpose of this video, this series, was to bring that box to Belinda. But that box has been destroyed. And I'm feeling it hasn't been destroyed. So the Kingsman replies, "What about us then?" And the Watcher simply said, "Let's see what the Watcher says." I'm really curious because I don't want to take the wheel too much on the characters and what they're saying. 90. I'm getting a little tired of rolling so high. Soften, simple tension. Simple. Yeah, he says simple. Okay. Watcher says you would catch, you would combust. You would catch fire, or you would be killed. It's simple. You would die. So I reflect on the past moment I spoke with the spirit. And if I recall correctly, that's going to be in my old notes where we spoke to the spirit. And it was, I still have the notes from here, a long time ago when we were doing this, the whole series on tabletop. We spoke to the spirit, and it was, remember when I said I was going to follow the center of the screen? I lied, apparently. Merchant mentions life is for the strange life. Father was paying attention. Regular stands up, turns to the father. I think I'm close to it. Now, I'm sorry I don't have a camera on this. Here's a blaring, mighty voice, not the misfits. The voice is a talking. All right, this is the voice. So, dark vision, skeleton speaking. It's a skull. Okay, so that's all I need to know. That's why I keep these physical notes, because I don't want to make a mistake, which I've done plenty of times before, I'm sure, for people who are like precisely taking notes here. The skull. I tell the watcher there was a talking skull, not a dragon. Like not the dragon head, basically. Now let the watcher. Let's see what he explains. If he even bothers to share that detail. Okay, I'm gonna try to roll once more because I'm getting really tired of rolling 90 or 60. There we go. Okay, good. It flew off my little plate here. I'd rather do that. 54. So finally, a number that's in the middle. Heal healthy intellect. Um, intellect. I think he's gonna use his intellect on this one. I don't want to go into complete like spontaneous exposition mode. Oh, it was thousands of years ago. The skull was once spawned by a cultist group of misfits. I just want to say, let's see. He's going to say that the skull intellect 54. I'm gonna re-roll for this. I'm wondering if I can get another one out of that. 39. Escalate fast food. Fast food. Escalate fast food. That'll work up as a McDonald's. Okay, so we'll stick with intellect. Now, what about intellect? What can we make of that? Okay, if I'm not mistaken, I think the skull, we couldn't understand it at first, but we eventually got something about releasing it, freeing its spirit, etc. Vague stuff like that. So the skull, the talking skull, we can ask, let's just ask if it's a human shaped skull or if it's a little dragon, like the face of a dragon. Let's see. Is it the face of a dragon? Like the skull of a dragon? 50-50 on this one. Okay. 91. It's not. It is an actual it is an actual human head, a human skull. And the watcher seems to know why. But I'm hitting this part of the campaign where I'm getting stuck trying to think of it. So I'm gonna backtrack this. I don't tell the dragon it was a talking skull. I reflect on the past moment I spoke with the spirit. Let's just keep it at that. Okay, Watcher says you would die. I reflect. Okay, here's what I ask him. I ask him again. So then, how the hell do we get in? Do I have anything? Uh, spirits. Okay, I think let's see how do we get in. Let's just roll for it. 46. Oh, wow. There's definitely a couple of choices here. Forgive, forgiveness, fresh and hide. Okay, I like the forgive one. I think he tells us forgive. It's the feeling of forgiveness. That's how we're gonna go with. So the Watcher explains you have to forgive, feel forgiveness. Maybe the cult recruited people like that. They were broken people, so they forgive themselves. They become easier to brainwash. So I'm just throwing some lore out there. If that makes sense. And put your hand on the door. So one of the Kingsmen puts his hand on the door, but I don't think anything happens. 10% chance something happens. Roll the 13. So, okay. The door shakes but doesn't open. I put my hand on the door. I forgive myself for whatever reason. I'm forgive myself. And does the door open? Let's see. This will be. Let's do a actual check on this one. So it's 3d6. We're prepared. We're. This is just the 2d6. I think it's not really an expert of anything. It's just more of a. Let's see if it opens the door. Our number is 4. This is gonna be a. Let's see what kind of roll is this actually. That's I'm curious. If it's gonna be a. This is gonna be sorcery. So 4 or higher, which that's kind of tough. But we are prepared. Yeah, our number is 4. So 4 or higher, we got to roll. Wow, 6 and 5. It does. Okay, so the doors start to open like this. The vast doors open. We all back up. There's like a gust of wind. Dust comes out. And what do we see? Like what is the environment inside? Do we see anything at all? Let's see. What is inside? Let's see. I'm thinking that this is going to be a good point for a hook. I think we're going to roll for. Let's try to see which table to choose. Intervene, plot point. Let's do a d6 to choose which one. 4. So Tension, that makes sense. And then one more for what, D10 for what kind of tension? So tension, 4. Horror. Oh, that's good. I like that one. Horror. Horror. Okay, I like that one. That's great. So, what do we see? Is it something that oh, horror. Okay, now let's build on that. Is it going to be? Do we see like a large something scary, like a large like how does it look? Let's see how it looks. So, location. Is it is it a visual? We can roll for immersion. So let's roll for a D10. Let's see what is causing the horror. It's something we see. So I rolled C, and it's going to be 7. It's odd. So C, it's a visual horror. We all see something odd and scary. I think what we see is going to be a large. Oh, you know what? This makes sense. It's a bunch of other humans like frozen in place, like walking into the temple. So a a dozen or so bodies of frozen victims that are scattered around the main room, the main entrance. It's like I'm gonna say it's a large room, like a church almost, like has a triangular top, and then it like keeps going through deeper within, like a chasm, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, we just see a bunch of like dozens of yeah, dozens of bodies of frozen victims that are scattered around the main entrance. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, great. They're all like, is now are they ice cold? Let's do feel. D10. How does it feel when we're in there? It's damp. It's very damp. I was gonna think cold, but it's very damp. They're all just dead. They're frozen, but for some reason it feels damp. I'm gonna change that and say it's cold. That makes more sense. It's blistering cold, like from the outside. Like I think outside it's like maybe 50s, 60 degrees on the mountaintop, but when you're inside, it's like 20 below. So blistering cold. Like there's a cold snap. We start shivering. The Watcher, he explains, the Watcher tells the Kingsman that would have been you two in seconds. So he's basically saying that if the Kingsmen walked in, they would have become a new 2 additions to this victim's file. So they would have died almost instantly. They would have frozen up in place and just collapsed and broken apart, scattered into pieces. So I'm sure the Kingsmen look at each other like yeah. So they can't go in there. I I enter the temple. I just enter it. I'm looking around, keeping an eye on myself, see if I start freezing. Slowly. Now, what do I see? Is there any traps or can I deduce anything? I'm prepared. I'm a thief, so that's probably a skilled roll. Let's see if I can spot anything. I think there is a trap at the main door. Let's see. Do I spot anything? A 4 or this will be swords. I'm 4 under. Wow. A 4 and a 2. That's 3. So 3 is actually going to be a succeeding critical success. We see a trap. So while I walk, I see a trap. And this trap is going to be, I have a trap list right here, luckily. There's a bunch of them. Let's see, 73. There's 2 sets. There's standard traps There's magical traps, I think. So 73 is going to be a puncture, a projectile, arrows, just the classic arrows, just fire, and then I see a trap. I see it. I don't think I trigger it, so I stop, and I can see like a hole on the wall with an arrow sticking out. Probably it's probably busted. So I see a trap, arrow on the wall, stuck in a just a hole. So the watcher says because they can't enter. I don't think the watcher can enter. Can the watcher enter? Actually, he's well aware of the spirits. I'm gonna say 80% chance he can enter. I said 83%. I said 80%. I rolled an 83. He cannot enter. Says be mindful of be mindful of your surroundings. Not all is broken. Just being very philosophical, very vague, like a sage. Okay, so I ask him if he is also entering because he's just standing there. Watcher stands still, says he has been banished from the temple. He has been banished. I'm starting to think it talks like Yoda, possibly banished from the temple. I happen because that's just how I'm picturing this guy. He doesn't give the insight. Um, so I'm surprised. I'm just gonna say that I'm surprised. Yeah, like just generally surprised. Now what do the Kingsmen do? They're just standing there and they don't want to feel completely useless. Let's see. 41. Garbage, fortunate, expand. They expand. Okay, so I rolled expand. They expand. It's a verb. Oh, they're gonna find another way in. I think that makes sense. All right. So both Kingsmen decide they will try to find whoops, they will try to find another way in. So they spread out. So they split up and leave. They split up and they kind of walk like out of view. They basically walk to left and right. Okay. Now I asked the whoops, I can't type. Watch what he will do. What he will do. And what will he do? Because he can't come inside, so let's see what he will do. 22. Defiant. Corruption. Control. He will remain at the front door. So he will control the front door. He says, I will remain here upon your return. So he's very optimistic that we'll come back upon your return. Now, does he oh yeah, the gold map, that's right. So I tell him before I move it continue, I show him the golden map. I ask I ask him what this if he recognizes it. Let's see what his reaction is. I'm gonna say let's see how he reacts. I'm gonna re-roll because I'm getting tired of 90s. Okay, 80, 18. There we go. Construct dead bureaucracy. Construct dead. Dead construct. A dead construct. It's a map of something. Is this map of the actual Temple Legion, or is this a totally different? Is this something for a totally different area, a different structure? 50-50. It's not 83. So he briefly says the map is not of the Legion, the Temple, but a dead contract, like a it's another realm, but of a realm of death. So it's something that we just happen to stumble on my inventory. Realm of death. So I don't think it's on this plane, but a different plane. Oops, plane of existence. A realm of death. So that's what I'm gonna. That's how I interpret it. Okay, so I put. Okay, I'm gonna say, does he ask me how I got it? I'm gonna think he does ask me how I got it. Maybe he's very surprised. 75% chance. 20. Yeah, he does. So asks how did I come across such value? Plot armor. Um, I tell him, found some dead goblins. I found it. Oh, I found it on a, I found it in a wagon, the danger house. I think that's what happened. Yeah, we killed some goblins. They were, they were sleuthing through some, yeah, yeah, that's right. They were sleuthing through a wagon that was most likely a magic merchant, a merchant of the guild, most likely. Found in a wagon the danger house were stealing from. So how does he respond to that? Let's see. 76. Plunder, occupied, prison. Plunder. Oh, yeah, okay. He says this. The map was most the map most likely belonged to the merchants. The Merchants Guild. Is it the Merchants Guild? Is that what we called it? NPC list. The merchants. Let's see. Characters. Uh-oh. Oh no, I erased it. I'm an idiot. Damn it. Okay, we'll just have to. mm, I think it was a Merchants Guild. I remember I combined that quest and got rid of the others like an idiot. All right. Gosh, I must have been drunk. Let's see. The Merchants Guild. Look, most likely stolen by the Merchants Guild. So that's all he tells me. I put the map back into my bag and face. I'm guessing just dark. What do I see ahead of me? Let's see. What do I see? I need to roll a 10. Two. I see colors, like not a rainbow, but I'm more so I see red. So face the hall ahead of me. I see red. Like is it fire? Let's see what I see. Let's do. Let's see. Description, people. I'm gonna say focus, person, event. Let's do event. 75. A plague. Ooh. Yeah, there's a red. Okay, there's plague. I see red smoke, like a red fog. I'm trying to think of a way to like smoke or fog or haze. A red fire? Plague. Okay, so I rolled plague. Is it plague though? 75. I'm sorry, that's not event. Plague is also plunder, occupied prison. Oh, I see death. I see blood. Blood. Plague. Right. Okay. I see red blood all over, like on the sides. There's a just a river of blood, and there's one straight path in the middle. Uh, on the sides, it's a thin hall, high ceilings. Oops, that's not how you spell high. I do apologize about all the spelling mistakes. I'm typing as fast as I can. Um, high ceiling, single path through. So it's just like there's just blood on the side. So I just see death. And does anything happen at this moment? Because we just passed a trap. We passed a bunch of dead bodies, corpses. Let's see if anything happens. 50-50. Does anything happen at all? 35. Yep, something does happen. And what happens per se? Let's see. Um, interrupts. Let's do D10. What happens? 7. Social. Okay. And what social happens? 3. Inadequate. Hmm. Social in. Let's see. That's a new one. What makes our character feel inadequate? So social like this to us? We don't feel prepared for this. We don't feel like I don't feel like I'm like this is beyond me. Like this is just like I'm walking into death. So I mean, I feel there's an emotional like in the air. There's a sudden change in emotions. Like as I walk, yeah, as I walk through, uh, I feel yeah, I feel inadequate. There's just a sudden change in emotion. Do I hear anything? Let's see, D10. What do I hear? 1, dripping, the blood. So I hear dripping. I hear dripping of blood from the ceiling. So for some reason, on the sides, like it's just dripping blood, like that kind of noise. Just blood hitting the pool. And I'm getting to the end. I'm guessing do I get there without any trouble? I'm saying 60%. It's just one little path. 47. Yep. All right. So I reach the end of the path, and I come up to what per se? Let's see. What do I come up against? Is there a door? You know what? Let's put this away because I feel like this is slowing me down. Let's pull it up from here. Okay. All right. It's back to conventionals. Is it a door? I'm going to say 80% chance. 86. It's not a door. It's a tunnel. It's not a door. It's a fork. There's a split in the path. Okay. I come up to a split. It's left and right, basically. So, um, what do I hear? I'm basically seeing two possible paths. I look down one, and I see. Let's see. I'm going to see. Do I see darkness or light? So 50-50. Do I see light or darkness down the path to the left? Let's see. Path on left. 50-50. Do I see light down that path? 71. I don't. Darkness. I look down the one on the right. Do I see light down that path? I do. 44. Barely though. So, path on right. Barely some light. What? Yeah, barely. Some light. Yeah. Flickering light. Is the flickering light 50-50? Actually, 75. I'm thinking candles or torches. 75%. It is, yeah. So flickering light source deep down the path. All right. Well, I'm going to go down that path. Does anything happen to me as I enter that path? Let's see. 50-50. Nope, nothing. 80. Nothing happens. Nothing happens as I walk down the right path. And as I approach the end of the path, do I enter? Is there a door? I wonder if there's any doors in this area. Is there a door? 80% chance. 45. Yep. There is a door. Okay, this door, does it have any markings on it? Does it open for me? Um, is the door like a solid, just a solid stone, made of solid stone? I want to say 75 for consistency is from the front entrance. 93, it's not made of stone. Okay, so the door, not made of stone. Is it made of magic, perhaps? Or is it made of wood? Let's say, I don't think so, 50-50. I don't think it's made of wood. 12, it is. Okay, so the door is made of stone, made of wood. Interesting. Okay. Um, wow. Are there any other ways around, like, is it just the door, or let's do 50-50. Is it just the door that I'm looking at? 93. It is not just the door I'm looking at. There is something else. Okay. Do I see it's not just the door. Do I see like a object, perhaps? 50-50. 55. It's not an object. I see. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah. It's not an object. It's a living thing. 75% chance. 29. Yep. Okay. Living thing. It's living. Is it a creature? 50-50 actually on this one? Yeah, 50-50. 19. It's a creature. Okay. So I see a creature. Uh, okay. Interesting. What is this creature? Is the creature a is a threat to us? Let's do 65%, I think, on that one. 36. It is a threat. Okay. A threat. Is it going to be a magic-based creature of sorts? Because we're in this big temple, I'm going to say 75% on that one. 93. Nope. It's just a straight up non-magic. Not a griffin. Not a vampire. That's the undead, or not the undead. Not a lie. Let's see. What would it be in a frost giant? Oh, giant. Is it a giant? Like, is it like from Harry Potter, like the big one-eyed giant looking dude with uh, a big piece of wood? Um, 75% chance. Is it a giant? 6. It is. So a giant. But what is the giant doing? Let's see. I'm gonna roll just a 0 to 1. Just roll 100. 60. He's okay. Oh, the giant's standing guard on that little door. Okay, the giant is standing guard, blocking the door, and we just walked up to it. Like maybe we didn't see it when we entered this little slightly bigger room, and the giant's right there, and he's holding again whatever that big mallet is. Um, that's I like that. Okay, so he's blocking the door. Does the giant attack me as I enter? So I enter this little. I enter a small. Well, not small. There's a giant in it. So I enter a room. Oh, a foyer, a foyer, whatever you want to call it. Enter a foyer. The guard, the big giant that's guarded, the one-eyed giant that's just has one eye. Is he? What does he do? Let's see what he does. 55. Okay, so he looks at me. The giant looks at me with his one eye, just straight down to me. Looks at me. Does he speak? 50-50 on that one? Let's see. He does. Yeah, he does speak. He speaks to me, says, "Who enters thee?" And I will end the episode right there. So Yeah, and actually, I like how it was. I was going without the Oracle on that one, but yeah, that was pretty good. That was a good little fix up for from the last episode. So, um, that was pretty good. I do apologize. I was not able to keep up with the typing and the screen movement, but that's episode 26. Uh, Enter the Temple, we'll call it. No, Enter the Legion, episode 26. I'll leave it at. I won't do any questions because that is right. That's it right there. That's what we're going to talk to this giant that we just walked into. So, we are in the Temple Legion now. We're right here, and that's where we are. Quest list, same quest. Oh yeah, we let's see. Entered the temple, talking to giant guard of sorts. Okay, and now there's well, if it's a character, we'll get to that. So there you go, guys. That's been about a solid hour, and that was episode 26, 25, 26, called Enter Legion. So I hope you liked it. Um, yeah, that's really it. I'll see you guys next time on 830 RPG.